Dark-skinned hands move across a braille book, reading the raised dots. Title overlay: Silent kaleidoscope. An aerial view of a university courtyard in Pakistan. Text overlay. In Pakistan's universities, students with disabilities face widespread barriers, from inaccessible classrooms and libraries to a lack of assistive devices and trained faculty. A group of young men and boys in wheelchairs gather on a dusty street, some smiling at the camera. Text overlay. Low enrollments are driven by discrimination, limited support services, and environments not designed for inclusion, despite national policies promising equal access. A young woman in a hijab and a young man sit on blue couches, listening. Umar Farooq, a Pakistani man from deaf reach, signs and gestures with his hands.
हेयरिंग लोग जो हैं जब उनका रवैया डेफ लोगों को जो है ना वो कर रहे होते हैं, मजाक उड़ा रहे होते हैं, चीज़ें कर रहे होते हैं कि भाई ये तो बोल नहीं सकता, वो जो है तो मुझे बड़ा मतलब बहुत अफसोस होता है ना.
Subtitle overlay. Hearing individuals make fun of us and taunt us when we can't speak.
शर्मिंदगी भी होती है, बहुत सारे जो हैं डेफ लोग इग्नोर भी कर देते हैं, बहुत सारे लोग फील करते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा ना, उन्हें बहुत हर्ट भी होता है.
Subtitle overlay. Many deaf people ignore this while many others feel it, and it hurts them.
भाई देखिए, आप तनकीद नहीं करें ना, अगर आप बोल सकते हैं तो भाई हमारी भी तो कम्युनिकेशन है, हम साइन लैंग्वेज से थ्रू करते हैं, हम लिख के भी बात कर सकते हैं, सिर्फ कम्युनिकेशन का ये इशू है.
Subtitle overlay. If you can speak, we can also communicate through sign language and through writing. Two men sit at computers, one pointing at a screen displaying a person using sign language. An aerial view shows a campus courtyard where students are gathered. Halima Sarwar, a blind Pakistani woman wearing a blue and green patterned hijab, speaks to a group of students on campus.
They are actually making inclusive documents. That means that one document.
Sarwar, a teacher, speaks to camera. Subtitle overlay. Public places are not accessible for us.
Public places are not accessible for us.
Subtitle overlay. And there are no audio signals or any tactile things that a visually impaired person can move individually.
And there are no audio signals or कोई tactile वगैरह भी नहीं होते that a visually impaired person can move individually.
A visually impaired man uses a white cane to navigate a paved area. Babar Iqbal, a Pakistani man in a wheelchair with the Disabled Welfare Association, speaks to a man and two women in wheelchairs.
बैरियर सबसे बड़ा जो है ना हमारी सोसाइटी के अंदर इस वक्त एटीट्यूड का है, बिहेवियर का है.
Iqbal, wearing a striped shirt and glasses, works at a computer. Subtitle overlay. The biggest barrier in our society right now is related to attitude and behavior. Subtitle overlay. And the second biggest challenge is related to infrastructure, due to lack of accessibility.
और तीसरा बड़ा चैलेंज जो है वो हमें इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का एक्सेसिबिलिटी ना होने की वजह से.
Adil Raja, a Pakistani man, computer expert and university graduate, speaks to the camera, seated in a library with bookshelves behind him. Subtitle overlay. We have minimal material in Braille. Even books on the curriculum are unavailable.
हमारे पास ब्रेल में तो बहुत कम मटेरियल है, करिकुलम की जो बुक्स हैं वो भी नहीं है.
An article headlined Inclusive Education in Pakistan, Challenges and Opportunities, has an image of two children reading books in a forest.
Inclusive Education in Pakistan, Challenges and Opportunities.
Subtitle overlay. Screen readers help us out with reading English text easily.
इंग्लिश का जो टेक्स्ट होता है, इंग्लिश बुक्स वगैरह के लिहाज से तो है कि हमारे स्क्रीन रीडर्स हमें मतलब वो हेल्प आउट करते हैं, तो हम उनको इजीली रीड कर लेते हैं, ठीक है.
Subtitle overlay. But if we talk about different languages like Urdu, no software is available that can read Urdu ebooks. A person's hands point to text in an open Urdu book on a glass table.
बट अगर हम बात करते हैं डिफरेंट लैंग्वेजेस की, लाइक उर्दू की अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो उर्दू का अभी तक कोई सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं है जो कि रीड कर सके उर्दू बुक्स को, जो ई बुक्स हैं हमारी.
Subtitle overlay. There aren't any proper audio libraries in Pakistan. A long shot shows a library aisle lined with tall bookshelves.
तो उसकी हमारे पास रिकॉर्डिंग में ऐसी कोई ऑडियो प्रॉपर लाइब्रेरीज नहीं है हमारे पास पाकिस्तान में.
Ali Tareen Khan, a blind Pakistani man and founder Khas Foods, speaks to the camera, seated in a library. A close-up shows an open book with its pages fanned out, revealing text.
When I wanted to take mass communication as my major subject, I was discouraged from the department, and they said, yes, since you're visually impaired and how you will survive in mass communication, how you will pursue your career in mass communication. And today I've done masters in mass communication. When I have to prepare for the exam, I have to request somebody, please record books for me, please read out this content for me.
3 people sit at desks with computers, with one young man wearing headphones and using sign language.
There is challenges of resources, digital resources, accessible resources.
An aerial view of a university courtyard with students walking and sitting under trees. Ali Nunari, a deaf Pakistani man from Deaf Reach, sits on a blue couch and signs to camera. Subtitle overlay. I have studied in a normal government school, where disabled and non-disabled students studied together.
मैंने जो है वो एक नॉर्मल ही स्कूल में पढ़ा है जहाँ पे हम गवर्नमेंट स्कूल था जहाँ पे डिसेबल और नॉन डिसेबल हम सब साथ ही मतलब एक ही तरह से एजुकेशन हासिल कर रहे थे.
Subtitle overlay. When I used to have any trouble while studying, they kept me aside, and so I didn't receive any help from the teachers.
जब मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम होती थी तो जो है वो लोग जो है मुझे बिल्कुल साइड पे कर देते. टीचर्स भी जो है वो हेल्प आउट नहीं करते.
Subtitle overlay. I wasn't involved in sports or any other activity.
स्पोर्ट्स वगैरह में भी जो है बस वो कहते मुझे साथ शामिल नहीं करते थे.
A group of young people, some in wheelchairs, gather outside. Dr. Kausa Wakar, a Pakistani woman, inclusive education expert, teacher and researcher, speaks to the camera, wearing a red patterned top.
Children or people with intellectual disabilities, with Down syndrome, with autism, with learning difficulties, very often, more often than not, they are not found in higher education.
Young people with disabilities walk across a paved courtyard, past rows of empty white chairs. 3 adult students sit at a wooden table, writing in notebooks, while a woman reads a braille book.
Just by providing some, infrastructural support, they will be able to go to higher learning, but that is not the case.
3 young women and 2 young men sit at a long wooden table in an office, communicating in sign language. Text overlay. In many academic institutions, people with disabilities are excluded from meaningful collaboration. Physical, technological, and attitudinal barriers often reduce their role to that of passive recipients of knowledge, rather than equal participants in research and learning. Raja, the computer expert and university graduate, speaks to camera. Subtitle overlay. It is a challenge, and if I talk overall, person without disability sometimes feels hesitant to collaborate with a person with disabilities.
ये एक चैलेंज है. अगर मैं ओवरऑल बात करूं तो जो पर्सन विदाउट डिसेबिलिटीज़ हैं वो समटाइम हेजिटेट होते हैं टूवर्ड्स पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटीज़ से कोलैबोरेट करने में.
Neelam Asif, a deaf Pakistani woman from Deaf Reach, signs to the camera. She is wearing a blue hijab and glasses. Subtitle overlay. If I say I want to help you with a textbook or with designing or any other thing, we are excluded.
लेकिन अगर मैं बोलूँ कि मैं भी आप लोगों के साथ हेल्प कराना चाहती हूँ टेक्स्ट बुक में या डिज़ाइन करने में, कोड डिज़ाइन में या चीज़ों में, तो हमें अलग कर दिया जाता है. समझ आता है कि जो है वो डेफ लोगों के दिमाग जो है वो इतने अच्छे नहीं हैं, मतलब ये लोग जो है वो इतने नॉलेजेबल नहीं होते.
Subtitle overlay. They think deaf people don't have a good mind and they are not very knowledgeable. 5 young people sit at a wooden table as a woman in a blue hijab signs. Text overlay. With limited access to inclusive classrooms and few opportunities for collaboration, many disabled learners are left on the margins. Text overlay. Open education could offer a solution, providing free, flexible learning through online courses, digital textbooks, and accessible tools. Text overlay. When designed with accessibility in mind, it can support disabled learners through captions, screen reader access, and self-paced learning, while also creating space for collaboration, creativity, and contribution. Shahina Ali, a Pakistani woman from Disability Welfare Association wearing a gold patterned hijab, speaks to the camera. Subtitle overlay. The awareness about open education resources, OER, should be given to not just for persons with disabilities, but for non-disabled persons as well.
ओपन एजुकेशन रिसोर्स की अवेयरनेस जो है वो पर्सन विद डिसेबल और नॉन डिसेबल दोनों को देने चाहिए. इसका एक मिसाल ये है.
Subtitle overlay. For instance, they can develop books together collaboratively.
कि आप मिलकर बहुत सारे बुक्स बना सकते हो, बहुत सारी पेंटिंग कर सकते हो.
Subtitle overlay. They can create paintings.
और भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो नए आप क्रिएटिव कर सकते हैं मिलकर.
Subtitle overlay. And there are many creative things that can be done together. Halima Sawar speaks at a podium with a screen and a Pakistani flag behind her. Text overlay. When education is truly inclusive, young disabled people don't just participate. They lead, create, and redefine what's possible. A young woman in a blue school uniform holds a sign that reads, "We are the future." A young man in a school uniform holds a sign that reads, "Equal learning access." A young woman in a white and blue uniform wearing a headscarf holds a sign that reads, "We want to create resources." A young man in a white shirt and tie holds a sign that reads, "We want to participate." Babar Iqbal, a Pakistani man in a wheelchair, holds a sign that reads, "Let us empower." Shahina Ali, a Pakistani woman in a wheelchair, holds a sign that reads, "People with and without disabilities."
We want to build network.
A young woman in a black niqab holds a sign that reads, "We want to build network." A young boy in a school uniform holds up a sign that says, "We want to support others," while another boy wearing the same uniform signs the same message.
We want to share resources.
A young man in a wheelchair holds a sign that reads, "We want to share resources."
Breaking barriers together.
A blind young man holds a sign that reads, "Breaking barriers together."
We are the present.
A blind Pakistani woman holds a sign that reads, "We are the present." A Pakistani girl in a blue uniform and white headscarf holds up a sign that says, "Let us collaborate," while another Pakistani girl wearing the same uniform signs the same message. School children in uniform smile broadly as they wave their hands in the air, applauding in sign language. Text overlay. Edited and directed by Munir Moosa Sadruddin, and produced by World Institute on Disability, WID. World Institute on Disability's logo fades on screen. At the center is a dark maroon circle with the bold white letters WID placed over a stylized blue globe. The words Global Heumann Fellowship circle the logo.